And welcome to the channel where we talk about only good comics. I'm Brant Fowler, and this is Friday First. This is the series where I talk about brand new #1 issues, new character debuts, new story arcs, and the like for the following week. So this is talking about books that come out on December 19th and 20th. So let's jump right in. All right, first up, we have a book from Scout Comics called Total Party Killer #1. I don't know what I was about to say, but this is a mature dark fantasy book, which already kind of has me intrigued. That's all of that is right up my alley, and this is it says it's like for fans of Quentin Tarantino meets Dungeons and Dragons, basically. So I like both of those things, kind of that dark, quirky comedy, kind of mixed all together with this fun, cartoony art. So there's a contrast, an interesting juxtaposition there. There's dragons involved. There's mayhem and mutilation. So all kinds of crazy stuff. This is by David Yu. I'm not familiar with David, and it's a brand new comic from Scout. So I'm hopefully going to be able to check this one out. We'll see if the shop has it or whatever. But yeah, this is Total Party Killer, and I am going to give this one a potentially good rating because, again, mature dark fantasy, Tarantino, Dungeons and Dragons, sounds like it could be good. Sounds like it has potential, so that's where we're going to go with that one. Potentially good for this new title from Scout Comics. Man, I'm in a weird mood today, I guess. Next up is the return of Adventureman. This is Adventureman Ghostlight #1. This is a brand new story arc from Matt Fraction and the Dodsons, and I really enjoyed the very first run on Adventureman. I kind of fell off of it at some point. I don't even remember when or like what issue or for what reason. I enjoyed what I read, but for some reason I just fell off of it and got behind. And it's been a while since we've seen an Adventureman comic, though. Gorgeous art. They are fun stories. This particular arc sees the new cross-draw kid defend peace on Earth from a phantom empire of crime. So that sounds fun. Sounds kind of golden age, but it also has like elements of like noir and kind of Indiana Jones vibe, kind of Tomb Raider kind of esque with that classic like Rocketeer vibe. Lots of cross genre stuff going on with this one. If you haven't checked out Adventureman, if that sounds like kind of your thing, you might want to check this one out. But I'm going to give this one a promisingly good because again I've enjoyed previous Adventureman stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, promising for me. Hopefully, it's promising for you as well. This next one is from Boom Studios. This is Animal Pound #1. This is by Tom King and Peter Gross and Tamara Bonvillain. So it's Tom King. Some people are fans, some people are not. It's very polarizing with Tom King's work. I think a lot of his indie stuff, um, not indie stuff, but like a lot of his like stuff that's not Batman, basically, is really good. Like the Vision is one of the standouts for me. I absolutely love that series. Have enjoyed other series that Tom King has done. I'm enjoying. I forget what else he's doing right now that I'm enjoying also, but he's one of those creators that either you love him or you don't, right? So, but this is an interesting concept. These caged animals have gotten tired of being basically caged, imprisoned, killed, put to sleep, whatever, and they've decided they're going to take over. And this they have this like ability, this power that comes to them. They develop the ability to walk on two legs, kind of thing, and they just decide to take over. It's a really interesting concept for this one. So I don't know. It sounded pretty neat. We'll see how it goes, but I'm going to give this one a potential just because, again, very polarizing. Some of his stuff I really love, some of his stuff I don't. But this one sounds unique enough that I'm willing to give it a shot. So I think it's got potential to be something special. Time will tell whether that is the case or not. Before I get into this next one, I do want to apologize. I'm kind of stumbling over my words today. I don't know why, what's going on. I went over these like twice. I know what they're all about and everything, but for some reason, things are just not coming out. It's an interesting time. I talked about last week, if there wasn't a whole lot of books, I may not do the show, but there were enough to do this one, and I've already like planned out the books for next week's, and there's plenty of books. So I don't think I'm gonna take the week off like I kind of inferred last week. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like my mind is going faster than my mouth can produce the words. So that's what's going on here. But anyway, the next book we have to talk about is from Dark Horse. This is Borealis #1. This is by Mark Verheiden. I don't know how to pronounce his name actually. From The Mask and Swamp Thing, actor writer Aaron Douglas from Battlestar Galactica and Hemlock Grove, and Cliff Richards from Buffy and Justice League. So superstar creative team here. Takes place in sorry, I lost it. Alaska. I was trying to remember if it was Alaska or Antarctica, so I had to find it in the description. But in Alaska, alcohol is illegal. Super low temperatures and everything. So it's isolation. It's one of those isolationist, supernatural thriller horror kind of things, which sounds cool. Winter nights last months, all that kind of stuff, and some creepy stuff starts happening. Brutal murders. There's dark pasts involved. There's a connection to deadly legends. So we're going to talk about like not just supernatural, but like mythological and that kind of thing. So sounds pretty interesting. Again, top-notch creative team involved with this one, and the cover art is striking. So it sounds like something cool to check out for me. So I'm going to rate this one I'm going to say promising for this one. I had written it down as potential, and I'm like, you know what? The more I think about this one, it does sound more up my alley. So I'm going to give this one a promisingly good, and hopefully I'm right. Before I get into the next one, I do want to once again mention the website that I use to look at all these, and this is not sponsored, but this is leagueofcomicgeeks.com. I just want to give credit where credit's due. I use this site every single episode of Friday First, and to show off all the books. So I just wanted to call them out again. If you're not using it, you should go check it out. You can create your pull list on there. You can print it out. You can track your collection, all that cool stuff. Mike Spiderslayer from Comic Book Corner 2.0 and one of my co-hosts on Comic Book Weekly pointed me to it a long time ago, and I've been using it ever since. It's a really cool site, so check it out, leagueofcomicgeeks.com. So let's get into the next book, which obviously on the screen already is Titans Beast World Tour, Central City #1. This is the corner of this event that I'm more excited about because it's the Flash characters. I have been enjoying Flash and Speed Force. Not as much as the last run of Flash, but I'm still enjoying it. We've got both writers from those series, Cy Spurrier and Jarrett Williams, respectively, from Flash and Speed Force, teaming up to tell us this story as Iris West has got a plan. She enlists help from her friends. Avery Ho and Wallace West are involved in this one as well. They're all, kind of teaming up together to take on this threat, as if you've been following any of Titans Beast World, which so far has been really good. Beast Boy turned himself into a star-like creature that they're referring to as Garo. Got kind of mind wiped, basically, or controlled by Dr. Hate, and now he is infecting all of the DC universe. Now we get to see the Flash characters jump into battle here. Sounds like fun time to me. Definitely going to check this one out, and I'm going to give this one a promisingly good. Again, that's another one that I wrote down as potential, and I don't know why, because it sounds really good to me, and I'm enjoying the Flash stuff, so it should be promising. But yeah, that's Titans Beast World Tour Central City. Next up, we have the original X-Men #1. This is by Christos Gage and Greg Land, with inks by Jay Leiston. So this is going back to the original X-Men that had traveled to the present for that, was it Bendis run, and all that stuff, and then they went back. And more recently, we've seen Jean Grey. When she died, she kind of, I don't know if it actually happened or if it was just kind of all in her head, but we saw her revisit that time as well. So now they are back, and something draws them to the present again, and one of them is here to stay. Don't know which one yet, but it sounds like really fun concept to me. We'll see which one ends up staying and why, and how that makes sense with the current dynamic. Obviously you're thinking about which characters are still alive, which characters may not be. My guess is Angel, but it could be any of the original X-Men that end up staying. But we'll see what happens. It's gonna be fun to watch. So I'm going to give this one a promisingly good, because I think it will be good. And finally, for the ranked ones, before I get into honorable mentions, we have Shift #1 from Image Comics. This is spinning right out of the Radiant Black Massive Verse stuff. This is mostly reprints. Just to give you a heads up, this was it had a few 8-page shorts that were published in the Image book or magazine, whatever you want to call that had, it was basically an anthology of a bunch of different titles coming out from Image. It collects all those, but it also does have a brand new story by Kyle Higgins and Danielle DiNiccolo from both from Power Rangers fame. Together, obviously, Kyle Higgins, Radiant Black. But yeah, it takes place prior to Shift's appearance in the Catalyst War. So if you're a Shift fan, if you like where he's been popping up in all of the different books, and you missed those shorts in the Image book, and you want a brand new story with Shift, you'll definitely want to check this one out. I like the Shift character, even though I did read at least one or two of those, because I stopped getting the Image book, but I do remember that story in it, so I think I read a couple of them. Either way, I still want to read the new story, so this one is definitely on my radar because I love the entire Radiant Black universe. So Shift, I'm going to give this one I'll give it a promisingly good, because I already know those stories were solid, and any new work, especially by that team of Higgins and Nicolo, I'm on board. So promisingly good for Shift #1. All right, getting into our honorable mentions this week, we've got Godzilla Rivals Jet Jaguar versus Megalon #1. This is from IDW. If you're a Godzilla fan, I'm not a huge Godzilla fan, but because it's a new #1, taking place with different creatures in the I cannot think of the word that you call those kaijus. That's it. I couldn't think of the word in this kaiju verse or whatever. I know there's some Godzilla fans out there. You might want to check this one out. So I definitely wanted to make you aware that it's out there. May not be for me, but it might be for you. So check that one out from IDW. And then finally, from Marvel, Star Wars Revelations #1. If you're a fan of Marvel's Star Wars line, this has a lot of promise for new characters and new story arcs spinning out of this one. So again, if you are a big Star Wars fan too, and you're a collector, and you're into key issues and all that, this might be, because it does mention brand new characters that they're introducing in this book, It also has stories featuring Jabba the Hutt, Darth Vader, Mace Windu, etc. So this might be one you definitely want to pick up if you're enjoying the whole Star Wars line. What creators are involved in this? Travis Lano, Melissa Wong, Kevin Scott, Charles Soule, Ethan Sachs, Greg Pak, Mark Bernardine, Mark Guggenheim. So it's an all-star team of writers and creators involved with this one. So if that sounds cool to you, you definitely want to check out Star Wars Revelations #1. And that's it for all my rankings and recommendations and all that stuff for books coming out. Man, there's a double box there. That's not usually there. Sorry, I got distracted by my screen. For December 19th and 20th, I thought because there weren't a whole lot of books, I would do something fun. I would show you a little bit of my process for those that stuck around to the end, to show you kind of how I lay these out. So I use Google Docs or Google Sheets in this particular case. I have a spreadsheet where I list out all my titles, and I'll just list them randomly in random order here, and then I'll rate them like, okay, are these the mid-tier books, these the top-tier books, honorable mentions, whatever the case may be. Then I'll put my rating beside that, and then if it's a key, I'll mention it because somebody asked me a while back I'm not a key expert. I don't know enough about that to speak about it intelligently, but I try, like I did with this episode with the Star Wars book. And then I'll drop the links for myself. So as you can see at the bottom, I've got tabs for all the previous weeks, all the weeks upcoming, that kind of thing. So this is kind of how I do it. And then I'll order them in the order that I want to talk about them, and then I'll sort them. So that's why it's already numbered there. But it's very simple, but that's kind of my process, and that's how I decide what I'm going to talk about, what order I'm going to talk about. And then I reference this throughout the show. I have it open in a tab on another screen here, as I do with all the links as well. So I can just pull them up real quick to share them on the screen with you. So that is my process for Friday 1st. Hope you enjoyed this look behind the scenes. And that's going to do it for this episode of Friday 1st. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please get it. Maybe I can talk now. Please give it a thumbs up because it really does help. And consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss any other episodes of Friday 1st or any of the other content I have on this channel, including all the shorts that I'm putting up or trying to put up daily. You can also, of course, follow me across social media at Only Good Comics right there in the corner. That's on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can type in onlygoodcomics.com. That will take you right back to this YouTube channel so you can watch more content as we talk about only good comics. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care. Keep reading those comics, and I'll see you next time. Bye.